Get ready for a no BS approach to health and fitness. This is NBS Fitness Radio.
What's up? We're back on NBS Fitness Radio. I'm David Allen. I'm here with Bennett Brady. Bennett is a high school student. He's the quarterback at ECS, Evangelical Christian School here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's my alma mater, yes, which is cool. So Bennett is quarterback, also long snapper.
Yes, sir.
His brother was a long snapper.
Still is.
Still is a long snapper.
One more year.
One more year at Memphis. And Bennett is officially committed as well to go and snap for Memphis.
Yes, sir.
So welcome on the podcast, Bennett.
Thank you for having me.
Very cool. When did you first come to MBS Fitness?
I came after my sophomore football season.
Okay.
So the winter of my sophomore year.
That's right.
2019.
Okay, very cool.
Sir.
So been here coming up on 2 years. This is your second season that you've played after having trained. That's very cool. Okay. First, kind of tell us how you got into sports in general, like how you first started playing football and any other sports that you played.
Well, it's kind of funny because my favorite sport was basketball all the way up till about freshman year.
Okay.
I didn't play football until 8th grade.
Yeah.
Because I watched my brother play. My grandfather played at Memphis, actually, so it's kind of ironic that I'm going there too. But I wanted to try it out. I saw my brother long snapping. I was like, I think I can do that. So I started out doing that, and then I slowly transitioned to just loving football and just playing that.
You didn't start playing football till 8th grade,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's when you started long snapping.
I started long snapping 8th grade year.
Okay, very cool.
Yes, sir. So just kind of turned into something bigger than I expected it to be.
When do you still play basketball?
I do not.
Okay.
I only play football now. So
When did you stop playing basketball?
8th grade year.
Okay, so you basically made the
I
transition.
transitioned to all football, from all basketball to all football. So
Gotcha. Okay. When did you start playing quarterback?
I was the backup quarterback 8th grade year. I wasn't very good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But freshman year, I started understanding the game of football and just getting better.
Yeah.
And the coach wanted me to keep playing quarterback,
Okay.
not just long snap. So I just stayed with it, and it ended up working out well for me.
Do you play any defense?
I don't play defense, but I know defense in case it's an emergency. I got to go out there. But
What would you go out and play?
corner or safety.
Okay, very cool. What's kind of been your story and your history with regards to like training? So that'd be like in the weight room or any non-direct football drills. Like when did you first start doing that?
I started lifting freshman year with the football team.
Okay.
Not just like I wouldn't lift outside of football. The only time I would work out was with the football team.
Yeah.
But my dad said like, all right, we got to start getting you bigger, faster, stronger. And the way to do that is to lift on your own outside of football. So then he brought me here, and that's when it really started, like to focus on weightlifting and everything like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so what's been kind of the biggest revelation that you've had with regards to training since kind of going from doing a little bit of it on your own to working with coaches?
I would say more workouts fit for my body instead of just a whole football team.
Yeah.
Because like when you're working out with a football team, the workouts are good, but they're not made for a specific person because you can't really do that. When I come here, I'm getting one-on-one training, like making sure my form's good and everything like that. And the like workouts are made for me and what I need to work on compared to what other people may need to work on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough position when you're working with an entire football team or any type of big group because you can't it's hard to individualize it for, a group of 60.
For sure.
60
My legs might not be as strong as someone else's or vice versa, but you just got to,
Right.
yeah.
And it's also difficult to kind of like teach good technique in a broad,
For sure.
in a big group because you can't give like the individual attention needed to actually give technique improvements. Okay, so you started kind of training on your own. What kind of stuff were you doing on your own?
I would just go into the weight room and squat and bench.
Gotcha.
Because those are the things I knew how to do. And I was like, maybe push-ups, and pull-ups, and just basic stuff. Nothing too fancy.
Yeah. Okay. Did you ever do any like running drills or any of that kind of stuff? Agility drills?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. It was literally just football workouts in the spring.
Yeah.
And in the summer. That was it.
But then in the fall, you wouldn't train.
We would lift twice a week, but as a freshman and sophomore, it wasn't like when you're an underclassman, they're focusing on like preparing you for it, maybe not like high training.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. So what have been kind of like your biggest improvements that you've seen since you started kind of training?
I would definitely say explosiveness and speed in that aspect. I'm not the fastest. I'll never be the fastest, but my quick twitch has definitely come from training and just like squat and explosive lifts. It definitely helps you. Yeah. You may not notice it at first, but like over a long term, like time of period, like I'm getting faster, I'm getting stronger. I can accelerate faster and do everything like that.
You feel on the field.
Oh, for sure.
You feel the carryover between like what you're doing under a barbell or in the weight room.
Oh, for sure.
Over to the field. Exactly. What do you feel like, what are some like big mistakes because you are around other high school athletes every day, whether either at your own school or on the competition or outside that, but what are some big mistakes that are common amongst high school athletes?
Like training-wise?
Yeah, well, that's like a training-wise, and then, I mean, otherwise as well. I mean, if you're like doing drugs, then yeah, duh. But specifically talking about training and training, maybe nutrition, and even like mindset stuff. But let's start with training.
I would definitely say that like not taking every rep to the hardest like ability. Like if you know you can lift heavier in the weight room, like, and a coach isn't watching, you're not going to put the weight on that you probably should be doing. You're going to want, like, I don't want my legs to be sore or whatever like that, but you're not getting better when you do that.
Gotcha.
Like when you're in the weight room, even if a coach is watching or what, you should push yourself to like get stronger, get faster, do whatever, even if you're not being watched, and like give everything you have on that set, that rep, everything like that.
Yeah, utilizing your time wisely to get better.
Exactly.
Do you see that more kids are, and I don't mean to offend you if I say kids,
You're good.
let's call it teenagers, more young adults are more likely to take it too easy in the weight room, or are they more likely to put too much weight on when they really should be, using better technique or not maxing out?
I've definitely seen both.
Yeah.
But I would say that more kids, they don't want to push themselves. I don't think they understand how important the weight room can be, or how much it can help you. Yeah. So I think they take it too lightly maybe, or maybe not do every rep that the coach says to do. So I think if they understood the importance of it, it's like, oh, this actually will help me when it comes October, November. I think that would help. But I would say definitely they don't push themselves as hard as they can.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think it's is that because they just don't understand the benefit of it? Is it a lack of willingness to do hard things? I mean, is it are those same kids like going half speed in drills on the football field, or is it just like in other words, is it lack of knowledge of like why I should be pushing in there, or is it just kind of a lack of like work ethic?
I think it's a lack of knowledge of why you should be pushing. Because those kids definitely go out in the field and they're giving it all on the field. I think it's just don't understand the importance of it, which coming here has actually helped me understand. Like, you got to work in weight room. That weight room isn't a place to like cool down. It's a place to get better. Yeah.
I think there's kind of a misunderstanding of like where your progress is going to come from.
For sure.
And like the game of football is fun.
Oh, for sure.
It's fun. It's fun to sit there and run around and throw and play and hit. And,
exactly.
And especially amongst other sports, like the sport is what you love. Like I love playing basketball. I love playing tennis or whatever. And the weight room is like, maybe that's not what you love.
I think like the main reason is like the weight room equals soreness.
Yeah, it's like,
and I think they like, that I don't want to be sore compared to like if you're sore, you worked hard.
Yeah,
that's what I think people need to understand. If you were sore, you did what you were supposed to.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to be sore.
Yeah, it's an aversion to like going in and like doing the hard stuff that's not necessarily the fun stuff of playing the actual game.
Exactly.
But like you said, or the way I've described it to people in the past is you can have the best technique in the entire world, but if your power, your strength, your muscularity isn't there, then you're going to get beat by someone who does have that stuff.
Exactly. At some point, strength is going to come into it and play its part.
But especially in the football field, especially in the football field where, where I always kind of say like the football field is a bunch of little tiny wrestling match occurring at the same time, especially on the line. You're basically hitting someone every play
for 140 plays.
You're wrestling someone every single play.
You're hitting each other head on. Who's stronger? Who's gonna fight harder? Essentially.
Yeah, and the other way I describe it to people sometimes is if you think like in like 7th and 8th grade, the kids who are the best at any sport are typically the best at all sports. Why?
Because they're the kids who have hit puberty.
Yeah, they're bigger, faster, stronger.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what field they're on.
Exactly.
They're going to dominate on it, right? And so like at the high school level, it's the bigger, faster, stronger, the more athletic person who tends to win all the different matchups, right?
Exactly.
So your goal in high school is to get as big, strong, as fast as you possibly can.
So you can compete.
Yeah. That's how you distinguish yourself. Now in college, everyone's big, strong, and fast.
Exactly.
So you better get really good technique.
Exactly. They're both going to play their parts.
Yeah. And then the pros, everyone's big, strong, and fast and has amazing technique. So you better improve your knowledge of the game and give yourself an advantage in that realm.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of like a very broad, painting with a broad brush. But like if you're going to focus more of your attention in any one area, it's studying the game is great in high school. But if you're bigger, stronger, faster than the kid, like you don't really have to know the idiosyncrasies of whether his like knuckles are wide or not wide or where his balance is. It's like just beat him.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's kind of one thing about kind of training. What about, so I'll give you an example for myself. So when I was in high school, I definitely loved the weight room. I was the meathead who like wanted to go in the weight room and do more stuff, but I would like always do a bunch of like bodybuilding stuff. So I'd spend all my time doing bicep curls and side raises.
You wanted to look big.
I want to look big, yeah.
Exactly.
And looking back, I'm like, God, dude, if I had just spent some more of that energy doing squats, bench, deadlift, cleans, push press, pull-ups, like what would happen? Do you see any of that kind of going on where kids are more like...
Well, I actually have one of my best friends is a bodybuilder. He competes in everything. Yeah. So I see both sides of it. Yeah. But I would think that like the main thing is everybody wants to have big arms. I mean, I understand that because if I look across the football field and you have big arms, I'm like, oh, you're mean. But I would say that like at one point you're gonna realize that people who have big arms may not be as strong as you, or maybe they can't bench or squat, which is what matters. It doesn't matter what they look like; it's matter how strong they actually are.
Yeah. Well, and knowing what I know now, it's like there's not a whole lot of people that bench a lot with small arms.
Exactly. Oh, that is true. That is true.
If you can crank out 30 pull-ups, you're probably gonna have big biceps. If you can bench press,
everything correlates.
Yeah, if you have form follows function. So exactly. Like at the highest level of bodybuilding, yes, you would need to probably do some more arm training. Exactly. But when you're going through puberty and you're just kind of starting this process, doing the main lifts and getting as strong as possible is going to make you
way more important.
It's going to make you big and jacked.
Exactly. That's going to people don't realize that if I'm benching or doing pull-ups, it's still going to make my arms bigger.
Yeah, I'm still building my arms.
I'm not going to waste time on just arms. Yeah. I'm going to use every muscle.
What's your favorite exercise? Let's say this. What's your favorite exercise to do?
Okay.
Just like you feel like you're good at it or it's fun.
I'd say bench.
Okay.
I enjoy benching.
Okay.
I mean, because I feel like that's what everybody's like, what's your bench? Or that's just the main one that everyone enjoys.
What do you feel like has the biggest carryover to like your performance on the football field?
Squat.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Because if you can explode from your legs, it's a whole different ball game.
What were you squatting when you first came in?
I was pushing maybe 135 for 5 my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like flamingo legs. It was struggling.
What are you squatting now?
When I left here, I hit, I want to say 225 for 20.
Oh, dang. 225 for 20?
Something right there. And then like 275 for like 8.
Wow.
So.
Heck yeah. So like basically doubled your bench press.
For sure. We never actually did one rep max, but I think it was estimated around 315.
Gotcha. So were you doing like 5-3-1 and then doing like a max set, or like what were you doing the 20 reps? Or
we would do 8-5-3-1 AMRAP
On the one? Okay, so then you got up to like 275, and you on your AMRAP you did, which for those who don't know, that stands for as many reps as possible. You were supposed to be doing a single, but if you could do more, you ended up getting 8 with 275.
Exactly.
That's huge. Okay, so a big thing about that to me that I felt in high school and even now, like, is the confidence boost you get from being like, holy crap, I'm getting strong.
When you get your mind behind it, it's like, because forever I was scared to squat 2 plates because I was like, I don't want to get down there and not be able to get up. The first time I did it for 5 easily. Yeah. And then I was like, oh wait, I can do more than this. Yeah. I can push my body harder and harder. That's a lot of it. Like, because if you realize you can do something and put your mind to it, like, there's nothing stopping you.
1,000%. Yeah. So do you feel like there's been a good carryover to kind of your mindset on the field and outside the field from the weight room? And so, like, how?
I would say, like, confidence. Yeah. Not cockiness, confidence. If you have confidence behind you, because I feel like your biggest opponent's yourself. And if you're telling yourself you're not going to do it, you have no shot. Yeah. You've already mentally told yourself, I can't do it. I'm not going to win. Like, if you go out into the game and say, this one's going to be hard, we're going to have to fight for 4 quarters, I'm not going to win it, the game's already lost. Yeah. You have to go out saying, I'm going to go out and I'm going to beat them. I'm going to outwork them. I'm going to do everything through practice and games and everything to beat them. Yeah. You got to have confidence behind yourself and know that your teammates and yourself, you are more than capable to do it. Yeah.
I think there's a huge benefit of kind of facing that fear of the 225. Because, like, in the weight room, there's all these kind of, like, different markers of, like, it's like that first time you have 2 plates, the first time you have 3 plates, the first time you do X, Y, Z, you know.
For sure.
There's a definite fear behind, like, getting underneath that bar. And,
oh, no doubt.
Like, oh, gosh, like.
It's intimidating. Yeah. But once you get it, you're like, all right, it's not scary.
But the beauty of it is, it's intimidating. But through your own kind of your own kind of drive and the accountability and motivation and support of a coach, then you approach that. Because that coach says, like, hey, look, you train for this. You've got that. I'm here. And just in case anything goes wrong, you're not going to get hurt. I'm here.
Exactly.
But you still got to face that fear, get underneath that bar and attempt it.
And, like, the way I work is, like, you got to tell me to do it. Yeah. I'm not going to go get myself under that bar. You got to, like, all right, let's go. Yeah. We got to do it. And everybody works differently, but that's the way I work. You got to tell me to do it. And you got to tell me I'm going to be able to do it. Yeah. You got to have it helps me when I see people have confidence in me.
1,000%.
So when I see people have confidence in me, it's like, all right, I have confidence in myself, and I can do it. I'm going to do it.
And then you overcome it and you do it, and you go, okay, well, that's like a brick in your wall that says, like, mental toughness. It's like,
exactly.
I had that time.
You won a battle.
Yeah, it's like I had that time. I was scared, and I did it anyways, and I overcame it. So then, like, the more that those bricks you build, then you get this kind of, like, big, strong foundation.
Sure.
Which you can rely upon when you go and face, like, a big tough opponent, and you're like, hey, dude, you think I'm scared of facing you? Like, I've put 315 on my back. I've deadlifted 405. You know, like you're not the first time I've ever been scared to go against something big and intimidating.
Exactly.
I'll give an example for myself. Is one thing I do every morning is I sit in the sauna, and then I do 100 calories on the salt bike. And it takes a total of like 20 minutes between the sauna and the salt bike. But the reason I do it, I have a lot of different reasons. But one of the reasons I do it is, like, I always want to start my day with something really hard.
Exactly.
And so then the rest of my day is easy. It's like, if I have to do something physically challenging, physically difficult, then, like, it helps motivate me and it helps me take on the day, because I go, like, well, regardless of what else happens today, nothing is going to be as hard as what I did this morning.
That's, like, why I like working out in the mornings. Yeah. Like, I've accomplished something. Yeah. I'm starting my day with a win.
Yeah. And, like, anyone I have to go compete against today, I know they slept in this morning,
and I worked,
exactly. And they weren't willing to do the hard stuff. So now I got the confidence to go out and I'm speaking from a place of having been in high school and found a love of the weight room and seen the benefits it had in other areas of my life, and now I'm 18 years removed from that, and still seeing the benefits of having done that 18 years ago.
For sure.
What are some other kind of mindset lessons you've learned, or maybe some areas where other high school athletes could improve in mindset?
I would say, that's a tough question, but I would say a lot of people don't know the difference between, like I said, confidence and cockiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, like, cockiness is being a jerk.
Yeah.
But confidence is showing that you can do it. Like, because if I walk out on the field on a game day and be like, I'm ready to go, I'm not going to look across the line and be scared. And, like, other people, like, can build off of your confidence. Yeah. Like, people are looking at you, and if they see cockiness, they may see fear in a way. It's like,
yeah, you're masking your fear with,
like, compensating in a way. But, like, if people build off of confidence with their own confidence, like, as, like, a quarterback, if I'm looking, like, if I'm confident against a bigger team, everybody else is going to be confident. Like, all right, he's doing it, I can do it, let's go.
Yeah.
And it just comes as one.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're talking about with, like, the coach, and I'm like the coach that supports you. Say, like, hey, Bennett, you got this, bud. Like, we put in the hard work.
Exactly.
You're going to get this. You can sit there and look at your linemen, your receivers, and, hey, guys, like, these guys ain't outwork us this week.
That's the main thing that we say every week. Don't get outworked this week.
Yeah.
Because if you outwork the team, it's going to show on a Friday night. It's going to be like, all right, they outworked us this week, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about nutrition. Have you learning nutrition lessons?
Yes.
Okay. What have you learned?
what I put into my body matters.
Yeah.
Because I would say when I was younger, I was like, I can eat whatever. It's not going to affect me. I don't have to drink this amount of water during the day. But last summer, I truly, like, saw the effects of what I eat.
Yeah.
Like, drinking a certain amount of water, a minimum, is huge. If I don't drink a certain amount of water, when I go to practice in the afternoon, I'm going to be dying. I'm not gonna get my best effort.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately gonna say I didn't work hard enough because I didn't put in what I needed to.
Yeah.
So, and definitely, I see that in teammates as well.
Yeah.
Who they think they can eat whatever, and I'm like, bro, you on game days you can't eat that.
You can eat it. It's just not going to result
like,
in a good
you can eat that,
performance.
but you're not gonna want to play like you want to in a few hours. It correlates, but people struggle to see that.
Drinking water was a big lesson that you learned. What were some other lessons?
What I eat. Like if I eat greasy food, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna give me the amount of energy that I need and want to play, practice, play, do whatever. Like what I put into my body, it truly shows and it affects it. Like if I'm eating a burger at lunch, I'm gonna be tired during practice, and ultimately it hurts me in the classroom as well.
Yeah.
Like I realized that it's definitely I've gotten older.
Yeah.
I've realized it more. But like what I eat at lunch is gonna affect my classes after lunch as well.
1,000%. Yeah. The food you put in your body is the fuel for whatever performance you're looking for, whether that be mental or physical performance.
And that's part of the work too. Yeah. That's what people don't realize. Every step, every hour, every minute is correlating to Friday nights, basically.
Yeah. You're getting better, you're getting worse.
Exactly.
So talk to me like a little bit, some specifics of like what kind of dietary changes you made.
I would say cutting sodas was a huge one.
Just stop drinking soda, start drinking water.
Water, Gatorade.
Yeah.
Like liquid IV and all that type of stuff, just to mainly focus on. It actually helps with my sleep as well.
Yeah.
I realized that like drinking a soda for dinner is I don't sleep well at night.
Yeah.
But drinking water, that was the main one. And then just stop eating as many greasy foods as I can.
And what were you eating, and then what'd you replace it with?
I would say like fast food, just burgers and stuff like that, fries, just stuff that's hard on your stomach, essentially. Yeah. And my mom just started cooking more.
Okay.
Because her grilled chicken at home is way better than me, and it's just as good.
Yeah. So like, what's a day look like for you? What do you like wake up and eat for breakfast?
Most mornings I eat like a bagel.
Okay.
Just to get. I struggle to eat in the mornings.
Yeah.
That's where that's where I need to work on the most. But I would say eating just a bagel in the morning is better than anything.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
So that's where I struggle the most.
Okay.
And then for lunch,
do you have anything on the bagel?
Sometimes I put like Nutella on it.
Okay.
So sometimes maybe
just a plain bagel.
Yeah, just to get something on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. And then
lunch.
What time is breakfast and what time is lunch?
Breakfast is that varies because sometimes we have practice in the morning, sometimes we don't.
Gotcha.
So usually I'd say around 7:30 ish.
If you have practice in the morning, do you eat anything before practice?
I try to.
Yeah.
I don't always because it's really early in the morning and it's hard for me to get food down in the morning.
Gotcha.
So I try.
So let me use this as a coaching moment, just not only for you, but also for anyone listening, is that if you're struggling to eat something, you can always drink it.
All right.
And so If you're like, man, it's hard for me to get some food in the morning. I got like I'm not that hungry. Or especially if you're about to have practice, it's like you just slept 8 hours, right? Yeah. That's a fast. That's an 8-hour fast. You wouldn't want to like
practice immediately.
Yeah, you don't want to practice on an empty stomach, having
caloric deficit.
Yeah, and not having 8 in 8 hours. So, but if you're like, I just can't put anything on my stomach, like food wise, just drink you something. So you could do you can do a shake. So like an easy shake would be like banana, peanut butter, protein powder, and a little bit of like oatmeal, and down it.
Got it.
Or you could just do like peanut butter on a banana.
Gotcha.
With a protein shake, something to just
put something on your stomach.
Yeah, but if you can't eat it, drink it. That's an easy
good
rule.
That's a good rule.
Okay, so you have breakfast, and then what time is lunch?
Lunch starts at 1.
Okay, so there's a big gap.
We have activity period. I usually eat during activity period.
Okay.
Like a bacon biscuit or something, whatever's at school.
So y'all sell food at the cafeteria during activity period.
Yes,
you can go get a snack.
Okay, that's at like 10:40.
Okay, so that's good. And then lunch is at 1-ish.
Yes, sir.
And then are you taking your lunch? Or you eat the?
I buy my lunch at school, so that varies on what they're serving. I try and get whatever the best option is.
Gotcha.
If they have wraps, so I get wraps a lot.
Okay.
Just because I know that's the best thing for me some days.
Okay. And then practice is at
right after school.
Do you have anything between like 3:30?
I usually like put something in my backpack.
Okay.
Just from lunch, just to put something on my stomach.
So was something that you bought at lunch, you like have it with you,
sir. Yes, sir.
and then snack on it or eat it before practice.
Yes, sir.
And then what time's practice?
3:30 to 6.
Okay, and then eat mom's cooking at
Go
6
home and eat.
or whatever, 6:30.
First thing you got to do. That's what he tells us to do. That's what coach tells us to do every
Go
day.
home and eat.
Go home and eat.
And then do you have anything before you go to bed?
When I was trying to gain weight, yes, I would. I would try and eat a second dinner.
Yeah.
But right now, no. I eat a big enough dinner that I'm full until I go to sleep.
Cool. So, but basically, some big. What you did was you started kind of fueling yourself throughout the day, making sure you stayed nice and hydrated, and making sure you're making better food choices and not putting, greasy, less nutritious food in your body.
Yes, sir.
Cool. And you feel like that kind of give you better energy, better clarity in your mind,
Better
all that.
focus during practice and everything.
That's awesome. Have I already told you my high school diet?
Didn't you eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in between every class? I've heard rumors.
Yeah. So that makes me happy that 18 years later there's still rumors of that. So it is he may be Dr. V now, but Mr. V.
It's Mr. V. Mr.
Okay.
V. I'm in his math class right now.
Okay, so he taught science.
He still does.
Okay.
He teaches like senior math and 10th grade chemistry.
Okay.
So I've had him twice now.
Okay, so I was in his chemistry class. And so hopefully what I want you to do is next time you're in class with him.
I'll bring it up later today.
Yes. And you can let him listen to it and share the story. But anyways, so I used to eat every morning for breakfast 6 eggs, 2 packets of oatmeal, a glass of orange juice, and a glass of milk. That was my breakfast.
Wow.
And it was a ton of food I could barely get down, but I forced myself to eat it.
That's force feeding at that point.
That's what I did. And so then I went up into my bathroom to brush my teeth, and I ended up gagging myself and threw up like half of my breakfast.
Really?
And I was like, crap, okay, I gotta go back downstairs, cook it again, and eat it. So I went back. I don't know if I recooked all of it, but I went back downstairs, cooked my breakfast, and then ate it again. And I showed up like 10 minutes late to Mr. V's class, and he was like, David, what's going on? Like, why are you late? And I was like, well, I cooked my breakfast, and then I ended up throwing it up while brushing my teeth, and so I had to go cook it again and eat it. And he was like, that's the most ridiculous story I've ever heard. But there's no way you could have made that up, so I'm not going to give you a tardy.
You got to believe that. I don't think that's not like your dog ate your homework. That's like I threw up my breakfast.
I was like, threw up my breakfast, I had to go eat it again. It's like, okay, well, I guess I can't argue with that. Don't do it again, but I'm not going to give you a tardy for that. I was like, thank you. And then, I used to eat a peanut butter sandwich in between every class. Or there's things called detour bars. I don't know if they're still around, but they were like
I haven't heard of them.
They're the tastiest bar at the time. And so I had the nickname of Detour. But But I will say the detour bars and the peanut butter sandwiches were great bargaining chips for like stuff because people knew I had food on me at all times.
So if someone was hungry, they'd be like, I'll give you something.
Yeah, but hey Dave, can I get one of those sandwiches? Like, what you gonna do? I remember maybe I didn't have a calculator that had games on it at one time, something like that. So like. I was like, yeah, you can have a sandwich, but I got to play with your calculator in class.
Bargain, yeah, that's smart.
What are some mistakes you see some other high school athletes making when it comes to nutrition?
I would say either not eating or eating the wrong things.
Yeah,
for sure, or not drinking water. Like on a game day, I'll see a teammate not like most people carry around a gallon, and I'm like, all right, they're drinking.
Yeah,
but like if I don't see you like with a water bottle, I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't affect me. I'm like, yes, it does.
1,000% it does.
Like, I'm fine. I do this every day. I'm like, oh, no.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Or you're gonna cramp halfway through this game tonight and you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realize the difference between like practice and game day. Like,
it's completely different.
Yeah, with the amount of output you end up having, and it's for whatever reason. Even like a practice, like God, but practice is 3 hours long, and we can do conditioning. It's like. Yeah, but for whatever reason, the game is harder.
I will never be able to explain it, but like on warm-ups on Friday nights, I come in and I'm already full sweat.
Yeah, you're
like full sweat. Act like I just played. I just did a practice.
Yeah.
We were out there for 20 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but you just sweat more on Friday nights.
You're geeked up and ready to go.
The anticipation's insane.
I also feel like the jerseys are like, I don't know, like the jerseys are tighter.
Skin tight.
They're skin tight, so like there's not as much like airflow. It's like your practice jerseys are 6 years old and they've got holes in them.
Exactly.
I think the nutrition thing is something that so many high school athletes miss out on.
Oh, for sure.
And it's such a giant way of getting a competitive advantage against other people because. Like the question I ask a lot is like, well, how many of your friends like follow a pretty good nutrition plan?
Not a lot.
Right. Okay. So if we're all trying to be competitive and either try to get, college scholarships or beat this person, whether it be on the football field or not, if no one's eating good,
that's the easiest way to get ahead.
And we know that eating good's good, going to give me an advantage.
Why would you not?
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do. I joke all the time. Like I didn't get a college scholarship because I was great at football. I got a college scholarship because I was disciplined in the food I ate.
You got your advantage in somewhere where most people don't take it.
Well, I didn't start playing football until I was a sophomore.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And like literally the first day they go, what position do you play? I was like, I have no idea. They said, well, you look like a free safety. I was like, sounds good. But like no one explained to me like what cover 1, cover 2. No one explained any of that to me. So I just like reacted on the football field, but I had no idea what was going on. And but because I was a meathead and trying to get bigger, I was eating peanut butter and in between every class and having big old breakfasts. So I just kept getting bigger and bigger. So they just kept moving me closer to the line.
You just ended up at the line?
Yeah, well, and I was playing outside linebacker, and I remember getting yelled at because I missed a coverage in the flats, and I was like, I don't even know what the flats are.
You're like, what are you talking about?
I was like, I don't know what the flats are. I just like react. I just played like backyard football on the football field. And so finally, like, I got bigger, and then they said, all right, Dave, like, we're going to put you a defensive end. I said, what do I do? And they go, well, if he goes this way, you go that way, go that way, that way. If he goes that way, you hit him. He goes that way, you pass rush. I was like, 4 things? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I can do that all day.
Where's this been for 3 years?
Yeah. So I literally ate myself into a position I could understand. And I was pretty good at it and got a college scholarship. So, like, it had nothing to do with the fact that I was, like, an amazing athlete.
You were a college eater. You were a college eater.
I was a college eater, not a college athlete. Exactly. So, that's why I encourage that so much in other athletes. It's like it had such an advantage. It creates such an advantage for myself. What's kind of your game day tradition for like food or whatnot?
On game day, I'm extremely nervous. Like harder to get food down easier.
Yeah.
So on Thursdays, I try and eat a ton more just to kind of because I know I'm not going to eat as much.
Yeah.
So I eat breakfast. I eat a big breakfast on Fridays.
Okay.
Just to basically get me as much food as I can, just so I'm not lightheaded or anything like that. And I try and get something down for lunch. Lunch is where I struggle the most. So, like, I try and get, like, a sandwich down at lunch if that's all I can. And then pregame meal, we eat that around 4. So I eat pregame meal.
Y'all eat it as a team?
We do, yes, sir.
Okay.
We don't leave school anymore. It's like you go in the locker room, meetings,
Yeah.
pregame meal.
Nice. Hang out, have your meal.
And that's like pasta.
Okay.
We still do steak night.
On Thursday night?
Thursday night. So
good.
We eat a big steak and then we go. Then I'll eat pregame meal.
Very cool. Very cool. How much weight have you gained since freshman year?
So freshman year, I was 5'4", 110 pounds.
Okay.
Right now, I want to say I'll say 6'1", 6 foot if we're being honest, but 195.
Program 6'1".
Program 6'1", 195.
Nice. Okay. Do you feel like that's the weight you want to be for your positions?
For sure. The goal was to get to 205.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was 175 for 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was gonna try my hardest to get to 205, but I just couldn't end up doing it.
Gotcha. Okay. How about your brother?
My brother is 5'11". He's 225.
Okay.
So he's thicker than I am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's 4 years older than you?
5.
5 years. Okay. So he's in his 5th year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very cool. What kind of benefit? So having a brother who's in college, or you kind of get to see some of the stuff that they do in college with regards to like nutrition and training and all that kind of stuff. Like how has that benefited you?
Nutrition.
Yeah.
I would say he's been the one to tell me, like, bro, what you put in your body, you're gonna see it at some point.
Yeah.
He said you might not see it the next day or whatever, but you're gonna see other people who are eating right.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, oh,
yeah,
I gotta eat right.
Yeah.
So he said that's the main thing. He's like, what you put in your body matters.
I think a big thing, a big difference between high school and college too is, that in high school the discrepancy between the starters, the really good athletes, and the ones who don't start, it's a pretty big discrepancy. And being just naturally physically gifted, whether that be in size or speed or strength and or athletic abilities, just kind of gets you on the field.
Exactly. They're gonna put you where you can succeed.
Yeah, I was like, you're just gonna put you somewhere because you're just naturally more athletic than someone else, right? But then in college, everyone was that person.
Exactly.
And they have to compete, and so you got to find those advantages, and sometimes
you
that
got to take advantage of everything that you can.
Yeah, it can come from the food you eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got more energy at practice. You can put out a little bit more. You got a more clear head. Well, that's going to help you get on the field in college where your just natural abilities aren't quite enough.
Exactly.
If that makes sense. What has been your favorite part since you've been at MBS Fitness?
I would say the probably my favorite part was just like physical appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown, I've gotten stronger, I've muscle.
Yeah.
Like just seeing the benefits in a different way than just on the football field.
Yeah.
So like seeing myself get bigger and grow muscle, that's definitely.
And people are like, "Dang, Bennett, what are you doing?"
I'm just lifting.
Yeah, you're like, it feels good to be acknowledged.
Exactly.
For
because freshman year I was skin and bones and wasn't close to big enough to play or anything like that. But then I I shot up. But like people are like, "Oh wait, who's that?"
Yeah. What happened to Bennett? That's the same thing with me. I was a skinny little kid in high school, and then eventually it was like, "What the heck? David's like a big dude." What's been your most proud accomplishment since starting at MBS?
I would definitely say, well, like weightlifting wise or just anything. I would say earning a scholarship. Because when I got here, you talked to me like, "What are your goals?" And I was like, I want to get my college paid for.
Yeah.
And I got that, which was awesome. God blessed me with that. And it's awesome. So
yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's especially doing it junior year.
Exactly.
You know, being able to kind of say like, okay, like I can go out and like have fun my senior year.
I don't have to worry. But that's what my mom and I were talking about. She was like, people right now are stressing about college applications.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I'm not a big party guy, so I was like, I don't want to have to make a decision.
Yeah.
So knowing where I'm going to go junior year was awesome.
Yeah. And now you get to follow in the family footsteps.
Yes, sir.
Where'd your dad go?
My dad went to Memphis.
Okay, so you got granddad, dad, brother.
My grandfather played the first game in the Liberty Bowl.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. So continuing the Tiger tradition. I love that. Very cool. Well, Bennett, man, I appreciate you coming on the MBS Fitness Radio podcast. Any words of advice or final thoughts for any other high school athletes out there and or parents of high school athletes out there?
Don't be scared of weightlifting because it has benefits. You're not going to get hurt, especially if you have someone like here teaching you and showing you and correcting you. You're not going to get hurt, and you're going to get better. It has an outcome. You just got to trust the process.
Love it. You heard it. Don't be scared of the weight room. All right, y'all. MBS Fitness Radio out.
Thank you for listening to NBS Fitness Radio. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to share it with your friends, follow us on social media, and check out our website at www.nbsfitness.net. Hit the subscribe button and tune in next time for more NBS Fitness Radio.